What's going on, guys? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisor.com, bringing home the bacon. NFL Week 8 first look. So normally we don't have like the pricing out, some of the tools out, but we're still waiting on obviously Monday night. But you guys are here. If you have any questions at all, please comment down below. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at, Fanduel, DraftKings. We're going to take a look at the pricing. We have some of the matchup tool up, which I will be going over, so we can talk about that. If you have any questions, comment below. We'll try to get this going. But I wanted to just kind of get you in the mindset of maybe you're looking for a Monday Night Miracle. Maybe you already dominated. Looking pretty good and looking to build on what we've been looking at for the first 7 weeks of the season, building lineups, helping you guys, matchup tools, rankings, everything like that. So just want to get into the first look. Now, I couldn't find anything online for betting. The lines aren't out yet, at least on the website that I use. So I am going to be looking at the Score app on my phone. So we're going to go over that and just kind of go through everything that we have. So got a bunch of matchups I want to look at. Not all of the numbers are obviously in yet, but yeah. So just kind of looking at the matchups, some matchups that we'll just start with Thursday night and we'll go to Monday. Obviously this is Monday before, so anything can happen with games being moved and COVID and stuff like that. So depending on when you're watching this, things could have changed by then, but let's definitely take a look at it and see what we've got going on. So the Falcons at the Panthers is the Thursday night game. Falcons defense just can't stop anybody. I realize Todd Gurley probably should have laid it down, but I have Todd Gurley in season long, and I'm happy he did not. So Panthers are opening up as a 3-point favorite at home. It is opening with a 49.5 over-under, so definitely look to be playing that. If you are betting, let me know, because we've been doing, I had a 4-fighter parlay for UFC hit, and Sunday I picked 4 players to get touchdowns. 3 of the 4 got touchdowns. The number 1 player that probably should have over the other ones, Alvin Kamara, did not get a touchdown, but I did come back and dominate with the over-under of 55 for the Seahawks-Arizona game, which was a hell of a game, by the way. So moving to the 1st of November, so this week will be daylight savings time for everyone in the U.S., but Arizona, I think, or something like that. So we've got the Vikings at the Packers. Packers open up as the 7-point favorite at 55 over-under. Steelers at the Ravens. Ravens are opening up at home, 3.5-point favorite, 47.5 over-under. Colts at the Lions. Colts are opening up as a 2.5-point favorite on the road. Let's actually move this up here so I can read it. Give me a second. Nope. It's not going to work. We've got the Patriots at the Bills. Bills open up as a 4-point favorite with a 44 over-under. Cam Newton's looked like just trash the past couple of weeks. So is Josh Allen. I mean, he hasn't done a ton. I think, the Bills kicker had 22 fantasy points in a season long. Crazy how that game turned out. As you know, take the Bills defense, or take whatever defense is going up against the Jets, and you're looking at some positive points. This week it's the Chiefs. I do like that play. Titans at the Bengals. Titans open up as a 6-point favorite, 54.5 over-under. Raiders at the Browns. Browns are opening up as a 3-point favorite with a 55 over-under, and OBJ is out for the rest of the year with a torn ACL. Jets at the Chiefs. Chiefs are open up as a 19.5-point favorite, 48.5 over-under. I would just probably fade this game for betting purposes. I mean, the 19.5 isn't a stupid number. Most likely they will, but the Jets could be the Jets, and I would just avoid that game. The Rams at the Dolphins. Dolphins opening up. The Rams are opening up as a 3.5-point favorite, and they haven't even played tonight with Dolphins being at home. Tua is starting. So you can really throw out all the numbers with fantasy points per game since Fitzpatrick isn't playing or isn't at least starting this game. Chargers at the Broncos. Broncos are at home. Chargers open up a 3-point favorite. Justin Herbert absolutely dominated for us on Sunday. 45 total. We saw the snow. If it's snow again, I'd be looking at the ground game, but that's something to pay attention to. Saints at the Bears. Open up as a 46-point over-under. Saints are 3-point favorites as of right now. Bears obviously play tonight, so this could change with injuries or anything like that. 49ers at the Seahawks. Seahawks are actually opening up as a 3-point favorite at home. 54.5 over-under. I think this one could be another shootout. And the Cowboys at the Eagles does not have an over-under, does not have who's going to win. I can tell you right now it's probably going to be the Eagles, unless the Cowboys, who claim they're not going to go out and sign anybody. Andy Dalton died on the field. He got just killed. They looked terrible. Dallas has looked bad. Eagles haven't been, very iffy, but they did have that comeback win on Thursday night. So, I expect the Eagles to, at least whenever the line comes out, and by the time you watch this video, it could. I would say it's at least a 4.5, if not 7-point favorite. Probably like a 45 over/under or something like that. And then Monday night, we've got the Bucks at the Giants. We've got the Bucks open up as 11-point favorite. Tom Brady is Tom Brady. It apparently wasn't Bill Belichick. He wasn't the brains behind the operation. Tom Brady was the brains behind the operation. Giants, Bucks, 47.5 over/under. So currently, those are the lines. Those could change by tomorrow, whenever you watch this video. But I wanted to give a first look, give the over-unders, give the betting. If you guys have any strategies, let us know. It's really fun to sports bet because, you have an equal playing field compared to like DFS, where you're behind if you're playing the multi-million-dollar tournaments because people are playing $100,000 a game there. So just kind of looking at this is our matchup tool. This is completely free on the website. You can go to fantasyteamadvisors.com, hover over the NFL tab, hit the matchup tool, and this is what you see. Now, this is a live document. You can't see it right now. Well, you can see it right now, but it will change. Waiting for the Bears and the Rams game to play so we can put the fantasy points per game season and how many the defense is allowing. So this is a new one that I'm adding into the sheet. The fantasy points per game, how much they're averaging for the season, the quarterback, and which I might move this over to here, not sure yet, and the last 4 weeks. So just kind of showing that they're averaging 20.79, and Ryan Tannehill and the Titans are averaging the most amount of fantasy points for the last 4 weeks. They've gotten a total of 108. So just kind of seeing, you can see if stuff starts to line up green, you can look over and then you can build it that way. So just kind of taking a look at this. QBs, Seahawks giving up the most amount of fantasy points to the quarterback. We saw that in full force on Sunday night with Kyler Murray. I knew it would be a shootout when the 4 seconds into the game, the very first play from scrimmage for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett went 20-plus yards and did a one-handed circus grab between defenders. Knew it was going to be a great game, so I was super excited to watch that. This one could be another one. Jimmy G coming in. They don't have like the huge receiving core that you would hope for, but he can make it work. You got Kittle there. Mostert is out. Raheem's on the injured reserve, which I believe he can't come back for a minimum of 3 weeks. And then we've got Jeff Wilson Jr. who left as well. So Jerick McKinnon could be shot into a huge role in this week. So that's something to pay attention to. We know that the Falcons defense can't stop anybody. Panthers are coming up here. Teddy Bridgewater is there. So the Falcons are giving up a 27.54 fantasy points per game on average, where the Panthers are averaging 17.14. Teddy Bridgewater, I love it. Teddy Bridgewater stacked right off the bat here. Kind of looking at that. Raiders are giving up the third most, so we're looking at the Browns, Baker Mayfield, even with OBJ out. Mayfield had an amazing game. Started off terribly. came back and dominated there. Chargers defense actually giving up 22.69 fantasy points per game to the quarterback. Facing the Broncos, facing Drew Lock. On the season, the Broncos quarterbacks are only averaging 12.28. If this game is cold again, if it's snowing, we could see it be a run game. So this is probably one I'm just avoiding. Lock, though, only 55.9% completion percentage. Don't like that with 1 touchdown to 4 interceptions and only 12 rushing yards. Saints are giving up the 5th most, so we're looking at the Bears, we're looking at Nick Foles, but these numbers won't be in until Tuesday morning. So there's the top 5. You can check that out. Going to running backs, I don't have all of the numbers here, but I wanted to just get this out for you guys. So Packers are giving up the most amount of fantasy points to the running back. Dalvin Cook apparently should be back this week, so we don't have to try the Madison experiment again. The second one is the Raiders. They're getting up 28.87 fantasy points to the running back position. We're looking at Kareem Hunt, who's been dominating, looking like his old self from KC prior to the whole punchy thing. Darren Johnson, he's got some yards, so they are using him at 136. It's not anywhere close to 463. He also doesn't have touchdowns. Or Dearness Johnson, I would definitely be looking at Kareem Hunt here. Johnson could be a GPP pick. We just have to see. The number 3 here is Carolina Panthers, giving up 27.89 fantasy points. Facing the Falcons, facing Todd Gurley. We saw Todd Gurley go off in week 7, got 2 touchdowns, and I really do like this. Another Gurley here. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for at least 1. Could get 2 there. Then the Lions come up right behind the Panthers, 27.38 against the Colts. Jonathan Taylor would really be the only running back that I would want to use in DFS purposes, seeing he's got 3 touchdowns on the year. He's got 367 yards. And then Jets come in here against the Chiefs. Edwards-Helaire does look like to be the number 1. Le'Veon Bell did get in the game on Sunday, looked pretty good. So the only problem is hopefully they don't split, but if they do, you could see that number. It just depends, I guess. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, cash, Le'Veon Bell, maybe GPP, but just kind of monitor it, see how it goes, the progressions throughout. The Chiefs are at home. Bell will be playing at home for the first time for the Chiefs. See what they've got to cook up. Wide receivers here, you can see Seahawks are giving up. You knew that. And then we will. So by the time you guys get this, Tuesday, Wednesday rolls around, this will all be filled out specifically with all of the targets here. So normally, if there is a team that only utilizes 1 or 2 wide receivers, they will be in there. But if you're looking for, maybe there's some teams that do utilize 4 wide receivers, kind of like, let's just say the Cowboys, if they had Dak. You've got CeeDee Lamb, you got Michael Gallup, you got Amari Cooper, you've got Cedric Wilson-ish, kind of. Those are all in there. And if you want to see even more, we've got those on the cheat sheet along with matchups. We've got stats, defensive rankings. We've got the depth chart. So looking at that, who's wide receiver 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, blah, blah. If they contribute to the team, they're on the depth chart, they are relevant for DFS, they will be on our cheat sheet. That is part of the premium content that you guys can check out. So that being said, just kind of look back at what we did on Sunday. This is our best lineup. I would love to know what you guys got, but 210 was our best lineup. So if you listen to us, you listened to our rankings, you looked at the stuff we've been posting, you knew I loved Justin Herbert there. He went off 347 yards, 41.48 there. DeAndre Swift, I wish he would have got a little bit more than 21 receiving yards, because was it either late Saturday night or early Sunday morning, DeAndre Swift news came out that he was going to get an expanded role. Got that touchdown. I like that. I thought more would come out. 14.8. I don't mind that at 5,400. Jamal Williams. This is the bet, though. This is what you guys should have listened to me. Friday? Yeah, Friday. So news came out Friday that Aaron Jones, boom, was out of nowhere. Questionable. I went over to the DraftKings Sportsbook app. I looked at it. The over-under for rushing yards for Jamal Williams was 24.5 rushing yards. I pounced on that, threw a 50 on there. Boom, dominated. I think it was like minus 110 odds or minus 120, something like that. I was thinking, and then news came out that A.J. Dillon was maybe having an expander role, and that didn't really come to fruition. But Jamal Williams had, I think, 20 yards in the first quarter, and I was like, there's no way we don't get this. Easy win there. So Jamal Williams came through, dominated, receiving yards, rushing touchdown, 21.4. I mean, Tyler Lockett, everyone and their mom was on DK Metcalf. By the way, he ran like a cheetah, got the crazy run. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. But everyone was on DK Metcalf, and I looked at the past games. Tyler Lockett was down. I love Tyler Lockett. Put him in there, 56. Love Terry McLaurin. He had a fantastic matchup against Dallas, who couldn't, I mean, their defense can't really stop anyone either. He came through with 90 yards on 7 receptions and a touchdown for 22 fantasy points. Tyler Boyd, I absolutely love Tyler Boyd in there. Over 100 yards receiving, 30.74. Now, I was all over Hunter Henry. Not going to lie, if you asked, I definitely was on Hunter Henry. Let me down. I was heavy on Hunter Henry, especially on drafters. Definitely heavy over there. DK Metcalf, I could afford him in there. Hindsight, I wish I wouldn't have had him and Lockett. But you win some, you lose some. Bills' defense against the Jets, 2 interceptions, only allowed 10 points. Got us 14 fantasy points for 210.02. Not bad. So I would love to know how you guys did yesterday. What was your highest score, and did you guys bring home the bacon? So kind of just looking at the pricing, the games, and stuff like that. This is Sunday through Monday, or Thursday through Monday. And I've really stopped using, I mean, we're still going to have Fanduel content. We're still going to give you lineups and stuff. But the way they're, and if you do sign up to fantasyteamadvisors.com, you get Fanduel and DraftKings, cash and GPP lineups. But the way their scoring has been, it's been 3 straight weeks of their stat provider not updating like normal. You would think they would move providers, kind of like DraftKings did, kind of like Drafters did, but they haven't. Every single week it's been, we expect to be paid out in the next week or whatever. But there are some people that play early only, so then they can get their money and then use it for, you know, like the mains or the late slate and stuff like that. So I'm kind of moving away from FanDuel. I've been pro FanDuel since our site began 6 years ago. Kind of moving away from it because they're just not doing anything. Move stat providers, FanDuel. I don't know. I don't know. So just kind of looking just how the pricing is. You know, it's a little bit higher up normally because you have more for a salary here. Mahomes, highest. I mean, he's kind of been down a little bit. That's the one thing. I tried to go a little bit contrarian this week on DraftKings and FanDuel. Put a Kansas City stack in the snow. Didn't work out. 12 fantasy points from him. Not happy with that. Wilson, obviously, him and Lockett dominated. San Francisco's kind of, you know, middle of the pack at 20. So his price is up there, but he's going to be a very popular one with stacking him and Lockett. I will guarantee it. Any of the fish will look at that. Aaron Rodgers against Minnesota. They played the beginning of the season. First week of the season. Minnesota's looked bad. They're 1-5. They are, to be honest, Minnesota is moving on from this season pretty much. You can see they ranked 30th against their defensive rank, 30th against pass, and 26th against rush. So I love the Packers as a stack here. As you can see, first week they were 30th. Rodgers, 364 yards, 30 fantasy points, 4 touchdowns, and only had Devontae Adams for part of the game. Then he was out, came back and absolutely dominated against Houston this past week. I love an Aaron Rodgers. See if Aaron Jones is in there. If not, Jamal Williams is in there. Love a Green Bay stack this week early on. Lamar Jackson, I mean, he's priced up there. He's running more. And Pittsburgh's been really good against the run, so they could be against Jackson. I mean, he had a good game against Philly that before the bye week, only threw for 186 yards. Threw for 180 yards. Threw for 193. I mean, Kansas City, their defense isn't the best. Threw for 97 yards. Houston, 204, 275. Like, he's got the weapons. He's got Mark Andrews. He's got Hollywood Brown. He has weapons. He likes to run it. I mean, on Fanduel, especially since it's, I don't like anything about this. He's averaging 189 yards in the air per game. I'm avoiding that. Josh Allen hasn't been good lately. His price is still up there because we know he can run. He's facing the Patriots. We know they've been decimated the past couple of weeks. Looking at this, I mean, he threw for 307 yards, only had 16 fantasy points. Didn't have a touchdown. Crazy. No interceptions either. That's just crazy to me. He threw it 43 times, 16 points. That's against the Jets defense. Kansas City, 2 weeks ago. Pretty good defense. 14 completions. 26. Now this one, was it snow or rain? It was rain. So, they're not going to throw that much. 122 yards. Did have 2 passing touchdowns, 1 interception. Didn't run much, 16 fantasy. I mean, his price for these past 3 weeks straight, I don't like. I do not like. And he's facing New England, whose defense has been pretty good. That's iffy for me. You come down to Matt Ryan. This is Thursday night, so obviously you have to play Thursday through Monday, or you're playing the single game. You got Matt Ryan, who, I mean, technically Carolina's been pretty good against quarterbacks. Matt Ryan comes in at 8,000. If it'll load. And I'm not going to go through every single play. We will have articles out. We will have rankings out. So go to fantasyteamadvisors.com if you have not. Hit the subscribe button on this page as well. But yeah, I mean, threw it 42 times, 338 yards, only 1 touchdown, 17 fantasy points. Against Minnesota, I mean, Minnesota's terrible, but 40 for 371, 4 touchdowns, 31. Had a bad game. Against Dallas, 28.52. Against Seattle, whose defense is suspect. He threw for 450 yards. We know how that went. Seattle came back and dominated. 2 passing touchdowns. Did have an interception, though, 24.9. So he's been very hit or miss, up and down. He's averaging over 300 yards a game, but he needs to connect more. I mean, he has amazing targets out there. He's got Julio, Ridley, Gage. He's got Todd Gurley who can take it. So this could be a sneaky one, but you got to play the Thursday through Monday. So don't know how viable that game will be outside of single game. Tom Brady, we know he's dominating. Justin Herbert, I absolutely love him against Denver. Hopefully the weather's a little bit better. Drew Brees came through, but he's playing Chicago. So looking at the running backs, McCaffrey has an outside chance of coming back into this game, but I highly doubt they rush him back. So Mike Davis is a good option. Derrick Henry, glad I didn't pay up for Derrick Henry yesterday. Kind of, Pittsburgh's good against they held Sake, and I put this on there. I put this on the rankings video last Thursday. I didn't like Derrick Henry as much because Pittsburgh's pretty good. 75 yards, did have a touchdown, 14.2 fantasy points. Specifically at his high price, no. I mean, against Houston, 4 touchdowns, or 2 touchdowns here, 39.4 with 212 yards. I mean, he's up and down. Definitely up and down there. So Cook might be back. We'll see. Alvin Kamara was in a smash spot and didn't get a touchdown there. Zeke has been very up and down. Might have to rely on him more if Dalton is out. He has a concussion now. Will he be cleared? Don't know. Aaron Jones' calf, we'll kind of see. Don't know if he's going to be back. If he's not, Jamal Williams is in a great spot. Like I said, Kareem Hunt, I like the price. I like the matchup there. Wide receivers, love Devontae Adams. Like I said, against Minnesota, stack the Packers. Michael Thomas, ankle problem, coming back. Day before game, punch his teammate, suspended, ready to go, coming back last week. Hurt his hamstring. Who the hell knows? He is in jeopardy to miss this week. That's something to pay attention to. He's still priced up there. Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones, both right around each other, so I like that. Metcalf, I like Tyler Lockett more than Metcalf. And you can see Metcalf is up at 7,800. I mean, after Tyler Lockett's game, he's still 7,200. He's still this far down compared to Cooper Kupp hasn't even played in Week 7. Keenan Allen's made of glass. A.J. Brown, I do like A.J. Brown. Amari Cooper, I would like this matchup. We don't know who the quarterback's going to be for Dallas. So you can just kind of see how it's priced down. Odell's out for the year. Robbie Anderson I like. DJ Moore came through with touchdowns as well. Then we look at tight ends. Kelsey, Kittle, love that. Especially, I know Seattle's pretty good against tight end, but if their defense does give up some, Kittle's pretty matchup proof. Mark Andrews is good from, the red zone, but that's about it. Darren Waller, I love Darren Waller against the Browns. Jonnu Smith I like. Hawkinson came through with a touchdown to win the game. Tonyan, I was off of Tonyan. He had a questionable tag pretty much all the way until Sunday morning, or early Sunday morning. He just hasn't done a lot the past 2 weeks. That being said, Devontae Adams is back. Tonyan, he's good for those dump-offs, 30 to 50 yards, but if he's not going to get the touchdown, it's going to be pretty tough for him to be a viable option there. And then defense-wise, like I said, take who you can against the Jets. They're priced the reason they're priced that way. Chargers a little bit cheaper against Denver at 4,300. Tampa Bay against the Giants, 4,900. You could take some value here, get Chargers at 700 less, and the Denver Broncos are the worst scoring team, as you can see. And then you can just move your list down. And a lot of it, you can punt some defenses. We punted the Washington football team this week. Came through. Absolutely love that. So that really shined through. We scored with the Washington defense. So you can always punt and build your lineups throughout a different way. And you can kind of see, pretty much the pricing's not going to be changed much here. You get a little bit, 500 less for Rodgers than Mahomes. I do like Rodgers. So I will definitely be looking at doing a Rodgers stack at minimum, at least one of them, and playing off of that narrative as well. So there you go, guys, gals, whoever's watching. First look at NFL Week 8. If you have any questions, comment below. If you want to email me, support@fantasyteamadvisors.com. If you want to get a year pass, so that'll include NFL. That'll include all, if you do it now, that'll include all of next MLB season, the entire NBA season for this year. We're doing MMA every weekend. We're doing PGA as well. So if you sign up today, you're going to get a full year. Normally $399. You can get it for $99. Use promo code FIRSTWORD, all one word, all capital letters. Sign up, fantasyteamadvisors.com, FTA Plus at the top. Hopefully you guys did well. Let me know how you did in Week 7. Hopefully you brought home the bacon. And if this helped you at all, please hit that like button, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel. We'll be coming out with the matchup tool. Hopefully it'll be done by Wednesday. If not, it'll be done by Thursday morning for that game. We'll be coming out with rankings probably Wednesday. Coming out with an article as well for everybody, so you guys can check that out. So if there are other things you would like to see on the website, fantasy-wise, season-long, DFS, let me know. Certain articles, certain stats, what are you guys looking for? Let me know down below, or you can email me, support@fantasyteamadvisors.com. That's all I've got, guys. Good luck today, and as always, bring them that bacon, guys. Peace.